Obviously, the Bengals are Super Bowl runners-up. They got hot second half of the season. They finished the season, 10-7, made a wild card, made a great playoff push here. So week 1 for the Cincinnati Bengals, the Steelers come into town. The Bengals whoop that ass week number 1. The Steelers don't know who the quarterback is at this point. I mean, they know, obviously, who is going to start, but they're not rallied around their starter yet, right? Bengals win week number 1. Week number 2, the Bengals travel to the Big D. Mike McCarty, Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons and the boys all at home. They're fired up. But damn, this matchup is very freaking intriguing because you got a couple of the 2 hottest receivers in the NFL going head-to-head. CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to have a breakout 3rd season. I think Jamar Chase is going to continue on his upward track. Joe Burrow is a up-and-coming quarterback as well, going into his 3rd season. Dak Prescott is a proven quarterback in the NFL. This is going to be a great game, but it is not going to come down to the offenses. It's going to come down to the defensive side of the ball in this game. We're going to look at a defense slugfest. I do believe the offenses are going to be kind of anemic in this game. And I think the Dallas Cowboys have the better defense in this situation, and they're at home. So give me the Dallas Cowboys in week number 2. Week number 3, the Bengals are back on the road again, traveling to New York to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. Man, do I want to pick that upset? Do I think the Bengals are still kind of licking their wounds like a little bit after that Cowboys game? No. Joe Burrow is pissed off. Joe Burrow is rattling those troops. Zach Taylor is rattling those troops. They are going to go into New York and whoop that ass, speed it down. The Jets have a tough schedule. Week number 4, Miami Dolphins come to town. Thursday night game. Give me the Bengals. Thursday night game, home team, 90% of the time. Week number 5, division matchup. Bengals, their second division game. First one on the road. They travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the boys. When I say the boys, I mean Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson. Basically, Lamar Jackson has to have an MVP caliber season to be successful. We have talked about that many times, and I think that the Cincinnati Bengals will win this first matchup versus the Baltimore Ravens on the road. Week number 6, the Bengals are back on the road. Wow, they have 4 road games of the first 6 weeks. That's kind of tough. It is tough traveling to Dallas. It is tough traveling to New York. I mean, Baltimore is just across the way a little bit, but then you travel to the Big Easy. There's always something about sleeping in your bed, especially early in the season. Yes, your body is still fresh, but you just got through a tough training camp. You had a tough preseason. Yes, you had a home game, but then you're on the road, then you're back home for a short work week. Then you're back on the road again, and it's starting to take the effect. They just want to be home for a couple weeks. The Saints win this game. So speaking of being back home, week 7, they are back at home versus the Atlanta Falcons. This game is not even close. Bengals win this game. Week 8, the Bengals are back on the road, back on division road again to travel to Cleveland. Not a far drive or a flight or whatever they want to do, but it's a Monday night game. The dog pound is crazy on Monday night, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase show out in big games. They like to show up. They like to flaunt their stuff, but the dog pound on Monday night. Week 8, division game. Man, Deshaun Watson could be back. This could be Deshaun Watson's first game as a Brown. Monday night game versus the Bengals. Give me the Browns in this one. I like the Browns on Monday night. Week number 9, Carolina Panthers come into town. The Bengals are what? They are a 500 team right now. They are They are 5-3 right now going into week 9 with Carolina Panthers coming into town. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback at this time. But the Cincinnati Bengals have had Baker Mayfield's number the last couple seasons, and I think the Bengals win their week 9 game going into a bye week into week 10. Much needed bye week because their schedule gets brutal. This point moving forward, the Cincinnati Bengals schedule went from, very, very winnable games to like games that they could be the underdog in most of these games. And it starts off with week 11 when they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers week 11. Yes, the Bengals are coming off of a week. Oh, sorry. The Bengals are coming off of a bye week, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are at home. They are hungry. They are clicking at this point. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers week 11. Week 12, they travel to Nashville. King Henry, Ryan Tannehill. They picked up Marquez Colston, right? They are a semi-improved team by addition, by subtraction, I guess. I don't know. But I'm picking the Titans to win this game. They are still pissed off about that playoff game with a 13-16 upset win. Bengals came into Nashville and upset them in the playoffs. But King Henry will be 100% at this point in the season. He was not 100% in that playoff game. They are learning to work the two-headed system. They are learning how to increment Ryan Tannehill's passing game plus the running game. The Tennessee Titans will be dangerous come week 12, and that's why they win this game. Week 13, the best team in the AFC. Let me get my hat to prove it here. The Kansas City Chiefs, my Kansas City Chiefs, coming to town to take on the Cincinnati Bengals again. If you guys flash back to 2021, the Bengals whooped the Chiefs' ass. Well, Jamar Chase had like 300 yards receiving. Joe Burrow had like 400 yards passing. It was ridiculous. It was a beatdown. Guess what? It's going to happen again. The Bengals beat the Chiefs week 13, giving them a 7-5 record. Going into week 14 when the Cleveland Browns come into town, Bengals are starting to click here. They lost 3 of their last 4. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs to get that little bit of swag back. The Browns come into town and they get their swag back over the Browns, and this game is going to be ugly. The Browns should probably not even just show up, to be honest. Like it's going to be that ugly for the Browns in week 14. Week 15, Joe Burrow and the boys travel to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Bucks. Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn, you name it, they have everybody that's over 35 years old, it seems like. But I do like the Cincinnati Bengals on the road in this Week 15 matchup, giving them their 9th win on the season. Week 16, they're back on the road to play Tom Brady's former team, and that is the New England Patriots. Mac Jones versus Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor versus Bill Belichick. A good defense versus a good defense. This is going to be a grungy game, grinded out, cold. Heck, we could see Mac Jones throw for 2 passes again, right? Give me the Patriots. I do like the Patriots in the Week 16 matchup. Week 17, they're back at home. Monday night game. Buffalo Bills coming to town. We are at the point of the season, guys, right now. The Cincinnati Bengals are 9-6 on the season. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going 11-6. So if they want to win the division, have a chance to win the division, they have to win these last 2 games of the season. It starts on a Monday night game when the Buffalo Bills come into town to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Possibly a preview of the AFC Championship game. Now, the Buffalo Bills will probably have their division, have the number 1 seed locked up at this point. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to be dominant all season long. 13-4, 14-3 type of season. They are going to be gnarly. But I think one of the Buffalo Bills' losses come to the Bengals Week 17 because the Bengals are kind of in that must-win situation. They want a home field game in the playoffs. Give us a Week 18 matchup when the Baltimore Ravens come into town. Bengals are sitting at 10-6 at this point. Steelers are 11-6 with number 1 in the division. If the Bengals win this game, they take first in the division. If they lose a game, they drop down to 3rd. So, Week 18, Lamar Jackson come to the town to take on Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the boys. Do we have faith in Lamar Jackson in January here on Man Hour? No, we do not. When is this game? second week of January. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals to finish the season 11-6, same as the Pittsburgh Steelers, but with the head-to-head breaker, the Bengals win the division with 11-6, sitting at number 2 seed in the AFC. So not terrible at all.